Welcome back to The Quantum Truth with Sherry Anshara, Unleashed. And today, we are going to go over what is humanity actualized. So, first off, let's start with actualization and what that word actually means.
Well, actualization actually means you're projecting your life. You are physically creating your life. You are making it happen.
Huh.
It's real.
Yeah?
That's what it is. We're doing this now. It's real.
It's real. So
We're
the
not talking about it. We're not. We did intentions, and then we actualized them.
right.
Correct. So it
Okay, yeah.
happened.
So it happened. So we are the ones who created this moment.
Exactly.
Okay, so what does humanity look like actualized?
It's becoming a real human, and this is how it looks. So I will actually give you, and I on LinkedIn, when I see people doing something, there was a post on LinkedIn that this older man was in a restaurant. He didn't have any money. I mean, his card wouldn't take.
Yeah.
And so a policeman was in there eating, and he got up and he went over and he paid for it. That's humanity actualized.
Okay.
Because I teach allness, the allness of each of us. Oneness is bullshit. Oneness says you're all the same. That's crap. You are not. But in allness, we are now unique. Everyone is unique. And then heartness is the essence of the heart, and it's connectedness. So, in the idea of being humanity actualized, it's connectedness. So, now I'll diss on myself. Um, 2 nights ago, I got a call from someone. This is not being Sherry good. Please don't say, oh, you're so wonderful and marvelous, or I'll throw up. Really, I will. But this is humanity actualized. This gal that I do not know her only on Facebook,
Right.
but I know that she's a good person. I
Right.
know that. And she called me, and she was stuck in California, and she didn't have a place to stay. And so I have no idea how to do Airbnbs. Believe me, I know what I'm doing, but I'm not very technological, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I actually got her 2 nights.
Oh, okay.
And so that's humanity actualized. Now, will she pay me back? I'm sure she will. But if she doesn't, it'll come back in a different way. I'm
Right.
not doing woo woo here.
No, yeah.
But it's about being supportive and assisting. And I will tell you, if someone calls me for help, I won't help you. I will not help you. I will assist you.
Right.
And
that's
she requires assistance. That is humanity actualized. So I'm not telling the story like, oh, Sherry, you're just so wonderful, or I'll punch out all of you out. I will. No, it's listening. So humanity actualized comes through the skill of listening. And so I listened to her and I could feel it. And she went there for a job that didn't work out
Huh?
and had
Okay.
put, all, and she said, I put all my eggs into one basket. That was dumb. Okay, so it's dumb. So what? So now let's see what we can do in the moment. That is about living in the moment, not in the future and not in the past. So I love that idea when that policeman paid for this. Or if someone's driving down the road and they see an animal, I would stop. Or any of, but people will drive by and drive by.
Right.
Or someone that requires to get across the street. Whatever that is humanity actualized, and it actually starts a progressive process. I don't teach anybody to process because process. But a progressive process is beginning to make that connectedness through you to another person, through the heartness, through the allness. And guess what happens? That's part of remembering being a real human.
Okay. So being better to our fellow man or woman, man, human, right? That helps the actualization overall.
Yes. And why do we call it mankind? To be kind.
Kind. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not about gender or any other type of race. And so our idea is that when we are not conscious, we cannot listen. We can only hear through our filters. Well, I'm not going to do that for that person, or I'm not going to whatever. And you know what? This is the truth, Cassidy. And some of my friends that have been out with me, I will send out what I call a message
Right.
through my field. And we'll talk about aura and all that stuff, energy field, electromagnetic, whatever. And I always go out like this. I send it out wherever I go. Ask me anything. It's not like I know everything, but I would ask me anything. I cannot tell you. People come up to me in restaurants, in the grocery store, anywhere I go, and they just start talking to me. And they will
Huh.
tell me just wonderful things because that is the message that I am projecting. And I have learned so much about people through listening. And they'll say, there's just something about you. I just feel like talking to you for no reason at all.
I get that a lot. It's almost like a truth serum with people with me. If for some reason they just start confessing everything about their dreams, their hopes, their goals, and they just go off. But when I was resonating, when I got hit with that, what I call the ball light, for lack of better words, whatever that was, I remember going to the gas station and just beaming this, and somebody looks at me and like, "Oh my God, you're on a different level." And I didn't do anything different. I was just nice to a guy. I was like, "Want a pack of cigarettes?" And again, I'm trying to quit smoking, but I'm like, "Sure, I'll buy it for you." But they could tell the person behind me was like, "There's something coming off you right now." I'm like, "Really?" It's like, "Yeah, I can feel something in your
Feel
aura."
it. I
Yeah,
can feel it.
it's like
I
I can just
can't
feel it.
emotion it.
And they couldn't. It wasn't about a physical thing. It was a feeling. He's like, "I can just feel this just coming into me."
It is
So,
physical.
yeah.
It is physical. One day I was at Sprouts, and I thanked the guy behind the counter. I said, "I'm so grateful," and I tell them, "Thank you for being here." And I said, "I get this certain salad there that I like. They make up." And so he said, "Just a minute. Do you know he went and got the chef in the back
Yeah.
and brought him out here so I could thank him?"
Oh,
Isn't that the
wow.
coolest?
That is
And
cool.
see, to me, that's the connectedness.
Yeah.
And I said, "You know what? I love coming here and I love this particular salad that you make." And the guy said, "And I like making it."
Yeah.
But you see, he put what he liked or loved into it. And you can feel that. You can't think it, you can't imagine it. You feel it, and you definitely. So I teach people not to thinky,
Mhm.
but to feel. And that is the resonance of beginning to remember being real humans and not being controlled by another race who has better technology.
So I always talk about purpose and how it's so important to find a purpose in this lifetime, this
Mhm.
time, whatever you want to call it, whatever dimension it is. You have to find that purpose, and I feel like actualization of purpose is super key to bring joy to a person's life. Not just happiness, but overall joy. That feeling that just overwhelms you, and I don't want to even say spiritual, but that interior unlocking, right? So what I always tell people is give somebody a job, watch them hate it. Give somebody some money, watch them spend it. Give somebody purpose, watch them embrace it.
Yes.
And so I always believe that this life and this test is the actualization, now that you gave me that word, of purpose.
Yes.
So, because aside from that, that's why we
Yes.
wake up in the morning. That's what gives you that joy to want to face that day. And I feel like everybody nowadays just doesn't have that actualization of purpose, and that's key from what they're missing. I don't know what you think about that.
That is absolutely the truth. And when people come to me and they'll say, "What's my purpose?" I go, "Which one?"
Right.
Which one? Every day is a purpose. So when you're in the kindergarten, your purpose is to get your little butt in the first grade.
Right.
When you're in, grade school to middle school, junior high, whatever you want to call it. So you have many purposes. And I have a lot of Sherryisms.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I invite you, I'm going to throw a commercial in here. I invite you to go to my website, Anshara.com. The reason is every week I write an original article.
Well,
Every week. So, how many weeks are in the year? So, every week. So, that's one of my purposes.
right.
So, that is one. And I write Sherryisms in my newsletters, and they're on my blog. But one of my Sherryisms is before I hit the floor, even this morning, as I was laying there with my kitties, I said, "What I say makes my day, and what I say can make or break someone else's day."
Well,
And so, that's a purpose. And so when people ask me something, I say, would you like me to tell you what you think you would like to hear?
Right.
Or would you like me to share with you what you really require to hear?
All right, that's all the time that we have today. Thank you for joining us on The Quantum Truth. Sherry Anshara, Unleashed. You can find more information at www.sherryanshara.com. Thanks.